Throughout Minnesota, Deerwood Bank offers personal service, lending technology, and community support. We're Deerwood Bank. Some call it Minnesota nice. We like to call it Deerwood nice. Here's a quick shot on Rennick. He's looking behind him, but the puck stayed out front, and it's Picking again, who nearly jammed it home.
Well, you talk about the Paling. You talk about the whole Paling family. Just a terrific family. There's nothing better than a year ago watching the three of them playing a line together at times.
Yes.
And they're competitive. They support each other, and it's great to be around really good kids like that. They're certainly a treat to watch, and we wish Ryan the best of luck in his first year.
Today, your path to the quickest freebies in the neighborhood is Quick Trip.
You know, one of the things that I know Coach Larson's probably going to take a look at after tonight's game is, you know, St. Cloud really hasn't gotten a lot of traffic in front of the net. You know, it's been pretty easy for Pantano in the net for Northeastern tonight, and I think that's one of the areas that they're going to want to improve on, is getting more guys going hard to the net, creating a little bit more traffic in front of that goaltender for Northeastern.
Paling brothers back out there with Fitzgerald. Here's Fitzgerald bringing it back to the point. Spencer Meyer drops it to Fitzgerald, now to the point. Bushy shot, looking for the tip, but it was tipped away from Nick Paling before he could get it. And Northeastern puts it back out to center. Now Meyer rolls it back in. Ryan Shea back to get it.
Some hardware right before joining the Huskies. Yami Cronilla won the Clark Cup for the USHL in Sioux Falls this past spring, while Thomas Rocco won the Robertson Cup in the NAHL for the Aberdeen Wings back in May. Another freshman who has championship experience is freshman goaltender Jackson Castor, who also has his name engraved on the Robertson Cup from his championship with the Shreveport Mudbugs back in 2018, and he was also named the playoff MVP. Jim, Pat, I'm excited to see what these new Huskies bring to the table in their next 4 years.
That's something that Coach Larson talked about,
yep.
Is that these guys come from winning programs, that they've fought to win a championship at the level below. And he said that really helps when you're trying to get them to compete at the next level and to understand what it's going to take to win here.
Well, absolutely. They know, they know it's going to take some time, because as I talk about all the time, every time that you move from one level to the next, it's going to take some time. But the good thing is they're good players. They've come from winning programs. They know how to win. It's just going to take a little bit longer for them to get there, but it's also going to be awfully fun to watch them grow as players and people.
Now the Huskies trying to get something going here. Here's Bushy. Throws it towards the front of the net, looking for the tip, but tied up there in front was Cranilla.
And that's the thing too, every shift that you play, you feel a little bit better. Every game, every period. And take a look at Nick Paling, who had the puck behind the net and bounced up, and just got it a little bit with a high stick. Wasn't very happy about the call.
Well, the Huskies were starting to generate something there. That line has probably been the most effective in the offensive zone here this evening.
Well, you see them get going, and you see them buzzing, both Palings, who work so hard.
Pass is broken up in the neutral zone. Meyer slips it to Henches. He'll bank it off the ball, and behind, centering pass. Tipped away in front as Rand was trying to work it across to Micah Miller.
You know, when you have new forwards too, Jim, that join the group, and it takes a while to really find out who really meshes with one another. And we might see some different line combinations as this early part of the season moves along. And
Paling dumps it in deep. Fitzgerald picks it up there, and again, puck played with a high stick, and it'll come outside the zone with 5:47.
You got a guy like...
Here's Walker, centering pass, and that was broken up by a stick in front, and the puck comes back down. Rashawn heads in behind the empty net, now comes out the far side, throws it up at center, broken up there, Kronala gets it across the line, but Northeastern takes over. And they'll flip it out to center. Brodzinski knocks it down, but here's a chance, and they score into the empty net. Lario got the empty netter, and Northeastern now leads it 4-1 with $1:25 left to go here in the hockey game.
Yeah, good defending there by Northeastern. They just lined 4 guys up at the blue line, and there was Picking, who found Lario, and he puts it in the empty net for Northeastern. Very, very solid performance tonight by the Northeastern Huskies.
And so Union for their continued support of Huskies hockey. Off the face-off, Northeastern sends it down ice again. Bushy back to get it there as the final seconds wind down off the clock. And it's been a long, long time since St. Cloud State has lost a game in this building. But as we spoke throughout the broadcast, it's part of the learning process. A lot of great players have gone. This is Brendan Van Riemsdyk. Of course, his 2 other brothers are in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, he's a transfer from New Hampshire. And he's a kid who is not a great skater, but, you know, like his brothers, very smart, knows where to be, big kid, and he's got a bright future in college hockey. Now
fed back to the point, long shot blocked in front as Luke Jaycox knocked that one out. Puck comes to center. Huskies can't get it in deep. That's Kyle Kupka, another of the 6 freshmen in the lineup here for St. Cloud State tonight. He's a freshman from Camrose, Alberta. Long shot, and Rennick gobbles that up. And so far, Northeastern getting the opportunities. They've got 5 shots, but there's no score here in the first. You're watching Huskies hockey on Fox 9+. That's remarkable.
Did we not talk about him almost every single shift a year ago? You talk about a kid who just loves to play, has the motor of better than anybody I think I've seen playing college hockey, and it's great to see that he's making an impact early on with the LA Kings.
And Blake Lizotte will be back in Minnesota tomorrow night. The LA Kings will be taking on the Wild in St. Paul.
You know, I talked to a few of their scouts. Billy Ranford, former goaltender for the Boston Bruins, is here tonight watching David Rennick, who's an LA King draft pick. But he just said everybody loves Blake Lizotte in LA.
Wasn't it Brooks Birch?
Yeah,
you were telling me that was one of the bird dogs on Lizotte right away?
Absolutely, former Husky player, and now a free agent scout for the Los Angeles Kings. They take care of each other here.
Exactly. John Picking back the other way. Walsh feeds it rink wide. That's broken up. Bouncing front, and they score! John Picking on the doorstep. The puck bounced around in the slot, and Picking finds something to his liking, and he picks a spot that gets it by David Rennick.
Yeah, that was
Northeastern has a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Picking's just going to get set up in front there, and the puck was kind of, as you mentioned, bouncing around, and Picking was left alone, and he just took a little whack at it, and that kind of even trickled in over the blocker of David Rennick. There he is, and you know, we've been doing these games now for a few years, Jim, and you just see the different captains and how they evolve and how they teach younger guys. Well, Jack Ashan learned from Jimmy Schultz last year, and the first thing that Jack Ashan says to us is that I want to be the hardest worker every practice, every game, and where did he learn that? He learned that from Jimmy Schultz a year ago.
Yep.
And when you have captains who can lead like that and pass it down, it bodes so well for the program, and Jack is certainly one of those guys.
Another penalty coming up on St. Cloud as the puck comes into Rennick, and Perbix touches up, and we get the whistle and the call. And we'll get the penalty killers off the ice. Now up through neutral. Here's Riley Hughes. Gets around a man, throws it in front. Broken up at the last second, and now St. Cloud settles things down. Clark Custer plays it around, but not out. Centering pass, thrown through the slot by Bushler, is pushed back out to neutral. Northeastern, though, will drive it right back in. These penalties have broken up the flow of St. Cloud and rolling these lines here at home, too, right, Pat?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And Brett Larson, he threw Mika Miller down on the fourth line. He just wanted to. Northeastern typically plays 3 lines. St. Cloud wanted to play 4 lines and
dump it in.
A little bit too easy for Northeastern to break out of the zone in this first period. It seems like St. Cloud's just getting one man in and getting outmanned, and Northeastern right out of the zone.
Now Brand plays it in and back to get it. Picking, he's got the lone goal here in this one as we approach 2.5 to go in the opening period. Harris now feeds it across. It's sent down ice, tipped in. Huskies back to get it. Nick Perbix out of Elk River loses control. Picking picks it up there. Over to TJ Walsh. Now back to the point. Bushler dumps it back to Walsh. He'll cycle it in behind. Van Riemsdyk with it there. Puts it back. Northeastern with good time in the offensive zone.
Well, they're moving to areas. They're moving the puck. And they're making St. Cloud chase them right now. Really impressive period by this Northeastern Husky team.
Now Cranola throws it out side. And now the Huskies will just change everybody up as we're in the final minute of play here in the first period. Long pass connects. Here's Picking across the line. Tried to go rink wide. That was blocked by Walker, but Harris follows up, snaps a quick shot. Rennick knocks that aside. Shea puts it in deep. And now Jack Ashan takes over. Feeds to Perbix. Long pass connects. Huskies break into the net, and the pass just missed. Beautiful setup there. And Micah Miller was almost able to tip it home. Now a centering pass for Walker misfires. And it's pushed back down into the St. Cloud zone. Here's Ashan with 15 to go in the first. Trying to make something happen. Ashan gains the blue line. He'll just send it in deep. Centering pass in front. Walker from point-blank range. And Patano makes a huge save to keep this one a 1-0 lead. Coming up in our intermission, we'll get you all set with the goings-on. Take a look at the highlights and stats and check out the league. John really is the one piece that returns to the power play unit, so it'll be interesting to see how this works for the Huskies here, Pat.
Well, the guys on the ice, really, Easton Brodzinski and, as you mentioned, Jack Ashan, were really the only 2 that had significant power play time a year ago. And
right.
There's no Robbie Jackson, there's no Patrick Newell, there's no Jimmy Schultz. So, again, we talked about guys that need to step up, and they're getting their opportunity to do that now.
Huskies go offside, and so they'll face it off outside the blue line. Minute 41 to go on this opportunity here.
And here's the thing, Jim, when you have guys that have to assume new roles, you don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to happen because they're good players, but it's just something that they kind of work themselves into. I tell you, I remember when kind of the torch was handed to me. I'm like, really? What do I do? And then all of a sudden you realize, okay, it's my time, and that will happen with these young players.
Northeastern breaks it up and they'll dump it down, and that's the thing that Coach Larson was talking about with the freshmen. The other thing is that how things move so much more faster here.
I say it's kind of the Goldilocks principle. We're just the right size, right? We're not too big. We're not too small of a university. There's a great university spirit here. We have a wonderful array of programs that the students can explore, because when you're 18, you think you know what you want, but you may not. And so we have opportunities for students to get connected and explore lots of programs.
Northeastern back at full strength, shot right in front, rebound loose, Paling trying to finish it. Couldn't get his stick free, and the puck ends up in the corner.
Yeah, that initial shot came from Kevin Fitzgerald, and it actually hit Paling, and Paling pounced on the rebound, and big save by the Northeastern goaltender.
So the Huskies 0 for 1 on the power play as Northeastern's able to clear it out to center. Huskies backtracking in their own end. Okabe played it ahead. 1-4 checker. Now he'll start moving the puck ahead through center. Brodzinski across the line. Wrist shot blocked, gets it right back. Brodzinski dumps it to the corner. Huskies maintain possession. Brodzinski gives it to Perbix. He'll slide it back in for Walker. Picking knocks him off the puck. And now Struble plays it off the boards back out to center. Huskies quickly back in. Walker trying to feed it across. Picking though knocks it down, and he'll come back the other way for Northeastern. Picking rolls it in from center. Ashan plays it around. Brodzinski waiting for it there, knocks it off the wall again. Huskies 0 for 1 on the power play, but that helped flip this game a bit for him, Pat.
Tale of two periods, Jim. We saw Northeastern kind of carry the play in the first period. St. Cloud taking a couple penalties. Now Northeastern twice here.
The Paling shot, rebound loose in front. Paling backhander, and it was blocked in front as the defender Picking went down and blocked it. He's been everywhere. He's the goal scorer tonight, and he's done a great job in his own end as well.
Yeah, great block. That was headed to the back of the net. You know, power play just doesn't happen overnight, especially when you do get new guys. It takes time for everyone to get to know each other, what they like to do, how you break the puck in the zone, where to be. And that's something that it's called growing pains, and they'll get through this.
Meyer keeps it alive to Fitzgerald. Now Meyer again feeds down low. Brodzinski taking a look. Fitzgerald now to Henches.
And they're basically running the same power play that they ran a year ago.
Yep, that would have been Robbie Jackson over there teeing that one up. Henches stripped to the puck. And that's Picking again. He's had a sensational tonight. John Picking, the senior, has really.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with him. We're seeing a little bit better jump. Yeah, the turnover cost them a little bit, but a much better period.
That shots
for the
to
Huskies.
This point, 8-8. First period, it was 12-6 in favor of Northeastern. Long shot deflects off the traffic in front, and now it's quickly turned back the other way. Walsh coming around the other way. Now Van Riemsdyk throws it towards the net. Save is made by Rennick, and he'll hold. Fans, the best way to experience Huskies hockey is right here, live and in person at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center. For tickets to upcoming games, log on to scsutickets.com. That's each team has a goal in this middle stanza. As Henches has scored for St. Cloud State, and Madden has countered with a shorthanded tally. Now Spencer Meyer steps up. Trying to work it out front, but it rolls off his stick in behind. Picking with it again. He's been all over the place for Northeastern. Huskies, though, couldn't hold it in at the line. Meyer hammers it back in. Pantano sets it up in behind.
You know, going back to that, how it used to be, it was always interesting because it was almost like you were playing a team from Europe. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we knew nothing about any of these Eastern teams. They knew nothing about us. They thought that when they were coming to the West to play Wisconsin, North Dakota, Minnesota, UMD, they were coming in and it was going to be a rough and tumble game, and they didn't know that there was skill up here, right? I mean, I remember some games And at the end of the game, they say, boy, your power play's unbelievable. How do you guys do that? I mean, it was like, and we didn't know what their style was going to be either. And
right.
and that's what made it so much fun to play.
Now Brodzinski back in. Pass to Ashan, who steps up on the play. Chips it in behind. Pass, though, broken up in the corner by Struble. And Northeastern gets out of their own end. Picking, who's been there all night, rolls it in.
Yeah, great play by Brendan Bushy there as Filippi got that puck in the neutral zone and just used his great speed. And Bushy was able to break it up. Oh,
there's Madden again. Buries his second of the period. Tyler Madden has put Northeastern up 3-1.
Well, constant movement in that offensive zone by the Northeastern Huskies. And you get caught flat-footed standing around a little bit, and they'll make you pay. And just watch the cycling there. And Madden's just going to come in high in the slot. Wasted no time and beat David Rennick to the blocker side up high. Tyler Madden's second goal of the night gives Northeastern a 3-1 lead late in this period.
And I think that shot was deflected off
May
a
have
Husky
been.
stick
Yeah, may have
and
been.
made it right up to the top corner.
And he let that go right away.
So the Huskies now down by 2. They're offside at the Northeastern blue line, so we'll have a face-off with 20.3 left.
The coaches always talk about keep your head on a